You're welcome. Now, Uganda is a landlocked country. This has greatly affected her international business, especially exports. Eli Kamgisha, the CEO, Uganda Exports Promotions Board, advises on how Uganda can be a better exporter within the region. Innocent Nabasa had a one-on-one with him.
We're glad you're still watching Business Forum. Welcome to this segment of Let's Talk Exports. Joining me on set is the gentleman, I believe most of us know him, Eli Kamgisha, who is here to discuss the advantages of regional markets to Uganda's exports. Eli Kamgisha, you're welcome to Let's Talk Exports. And today's topic is, how are the regional markets good for our exports? So we ask, what are the major regional markets for Uganda?
Uganda is lucky to have neighbors which neighboring countries which are at the same time its markets.
Okay.
Our main regional markets include South Sudan, DRC, Rwanda, okay, Kenya, and Tanzania. These are our main regional markets. But if you combine them, all of these markets, these countries, you find that our regional markets are the biggest contributor to our export receipts, meaning that we are exporting more to the region than to any other parts of the world.
Okay.
In the early 90s, toward even mid-90s, our major markets were the EU. So meaning that you had to meet a lot of costs of exporting by air, conditions, standards, and all this.
But now it is different.
But now the EU is our second major regional market. Our first major regional market is the neighbors.
That is East African Community.
East African Community and COMESA.
Yeah. How much in terms of percentages is Uganda exporting to the East African Community and then COMESA?
First of all, I can first break it down that before Sudan, South Sudan got internal conflicts, it was the biggest market for the region, and we were talking in terms of in excess of $400 million.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it was a good market. Now, now the other markets, DRC and Rwanda and Kenya, are now the biggest regional markets. With Kenya, we are in excess of 300 million. Rwanda and the DRC in excess of $200 million. And then still Sudan, South Sudan limping at around 170, and then you have also Sudan. We have South Sudan, but also Sudan as well. It's also a major market, surprisingly for coffee, and even tea and other products.
Okay, thank you so much, Eli. Now, if someone out there who could be watching is interested in involving themselves in this exportation, what are the potential products that are good for the market?
The regional market is a good market for both value-added products and non-value-added products. We are, as Uganda, we are exporting iron and steel products, call them construction products, building materials, angle bars, iron sheets, nails, all construction materials, but also cement,
okay,
and sugar, and food, value-added food products, cooking oil, posho. Posho, the other name I'm using to call it maize flour. Yeah, yes. If you say posho in some places, they'll ask you what do you mean by posho.
Yeah.
But also we export agricultural products that are non-value added.
Okay, actually talking about agricultural products, recently we imposed a self-ban on the exportation of agricultural products. And remember, you told me initially in the 90s, we used to export to Europe. And we actually imposed this ban on our exportation of agricultural products to Europe. So isn't this affecting the market? First of all, agriculture is the backbone of Ugandah's economy. And if we impose that ban, because there is value added to those products, what effect is it having?
Like I said, the EU is our second most important market in the world. And we are keen on keeping the EU market. And therefore, to keep this EU market requires that we are precautious, we are careful. Now, what has happened is that the government, after having discussions with the EU, and this followed many interceptions at the airport of exports, especially capsicum, which had pests. The main pest is the fourth quartering moth, which is a moth that is being detected in some of the exports to the EU. But there are also other products that also have other pests, fruit fly and other pests.
How do those flies, the pests
the
and
pests,
the fruit flies and the moth get into those products?
And
are we actually consuming the same products with the pests?
I have been told by scientists, especially by Minister of Agriculture, that once you cook it, there is no problem. It is proteins.
Okay.
But we will not feed it to the Europeans if they don't want it. And you know, customers determine the quality they want.
Yes, they're the bosses.
They are the bosses. So we want to give the Europeans the quality they want. And because of that, the government imposed what we call self-regulation, self-imposed ban, so that they take time, so that we can clean our houses, so that the Minister of Agriculture can do a reassessment, a compliance test, to ensure that these pack houses and exporters do comply.
Okay, hasn't this really affected the exporters?
It has. There is no doubt it has affected it has affected the consumers. One, because the consumers like this product, and if you like the product and you go to the market and you don't find it, then you have to change your tastes and preferences.
And they could probably change to a supplier.
Yeah. The disadvantage, is they could switch to others, and that is the challenge that we need to work very fast to address that. But basically, also it has affected the exporters. It has affected their business. It has affected the farmers who are outgrowers that produce for the exporters. But we hope that the exporters working with the government can address this very fast.
Yeah, because you're Uganda Export Promotion Board, and this actually affects you directly. So what are you doing to address it?
We are working with the exporters and our Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and also MAIF, Minister of Agriculture, to ensure that the assessment is done very, very fast, so that we can reassess, reevaluate, companies can comply very, very fast, and that would be that. And so basically what is going to happen is that companies that are compliant keep exporting.
Okay.
Those who are not compliant are being reassessed, are being assessed and reassessed. Now, for any company that will be intercepted, then it will be handled as case-by-case basis, on a case-by-case basis. If your company is intercepted, then you will have later on to prove that you are compliant.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So as we near the end of this interview, how can someone new interested in exporting enter the market?
No, if you are interested in exporting, please, you need information. Information is power, and Uganda Export Promotion Board is there to give you this information. Okay. Don't hesitate to come to Uganda Export Promotion Board or to visit our website. And also, if you are abroad, to visit our missions, our embassies. Our embassies, they do have information on how to export, how to import from Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. You have no excuse or reason to say you cannot export. Probably there is limited access. Internet is everywhere. And Mr. Elikam Gisha just told us how we can be part of this. And you can be a new exporter on the market. And you can earn big from this. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It has been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, going back to studio, I hand you to Jocelyn Nachwule.
We now look at the market trends, and today the US dollar is buying at 3,302.61, selling at 3,312.61. The pound sterling is buying at 5,191.32, selling at 5,207.05. The euro is buying at 3,677.06, selling at 3,688.21. The Kenyan shilling is buying at 33.25, selling at 33.35. Thank you for watching WBS Business Forum. That's all we had for you this week. I'm Jocelyn Nachwule. Have a blessed night.